Okay, we are trying something new because I need to improve in chess. I want to reach 2K blitz rating, and I feel like for that I need to do visualization training. So that's what we're gonna do today. So what I'm going to do is I have chess.com puzzles. I will first solve it normally, then I will try to solve it in my head, blindfolded. And I have to visualize the final position. Then I'm gonna set it up here on this empty board. Okay, so let's go. First one. Black to move. So I think, yeah, there are many ways. I mean, this comes to mind. This would be checkmate if my knight wasn't blocking it. This move comes to mind, would be nice if the knight wasn't there. This check is available. This check is available. Problem is with this that he can block with the rook, but still it's checkmate. So I already figured it out. So it's knight f3, rook takes f3, rook h5, rook h3, rook takes h3 check, mate. He can also take with the knight, but this doesn't change anything. Then it would be knight f3 check, knight takes f3, rook h5 check, and knight h4, rook takes h4, checkmate. So he does it like that. Okay, so now we solved it normally. Now we have to reconstruct the position on this blank board. Let me try and do it just now without any special whatever. I remember there was, wait. What was the board's orientation even? So it was the other way around. So there was a bishop here. There was some pawn thing going on there. Well, let's start with the important stuff. There was a white king, but where was it? I think it was on h2. I had a queen on, I think I had a queen on g4. There was a rook on e5. My knight was on g5. There was a queen on D5. 2. There was also a rook somewhere. Where was it? Somewhere on the 3rd rank, but don't know exactly where it was, on which file. Let's put it here. Yes, there was also a white knight on d4, I think. Or was it on... Well, it could jump to f3, but maybe it was also on e1. No, I think it was there. d4. So where were the pawns? Where was my king? I don't remember, because that's the important pieces. There was some pawn stuff going on there, but I don't remember. I think there was a pawn here and some... Yeah, there were some pawns, I don't know where they were. And my king was probably somewhere here. Okay, let's see. Okay. This doesn't look too bad. Huh, okay. So those 3 were correct. The bishop was correct. The knight was correct. But there was the rook was on f1 for some reason. Huh. That's... Yeah, because I can give the check on h3 immediately. So the rook was on f1. And there was a bishop on b2. But see, that's interesting. My brain didn't recall the bishop because it had no relevance here. And also I didn't recall any of the pawns because they also had no relevance. That's funny. Okay, and now we need to remember all of the pieces, not just the important ones. Okay, so there are pawns, king, bishop. So what about those pawns? Okay, bishop, so black pawns. So black pawns, white pawns, white pawn, bishop on the long diagonal. Okay. Queen, king, rook. Okay, this is a pattern I can easily remember. Pawns in front of the king. With the bishop we have two white pawns, no, two black pawns. Okay, so it's actually a normal position, makes sense that the black pawns are like this. Okay, I have an interesting idea. I'm just kings and pawns. Just kings and pawns. Okay, pawns, white pawns. How many white pawns are there? 4 white pawns, right? Yes. 4 white pawns, 5 black pawns. Okay, we have the bishop there, the rook there. White rook is on first rank, but which file was it? Black king is in the corner. There were 3 squares between the black king and the black queen, right? And the rook was directly, I mean, between the white king and the white queen, and the white rook was bisecting that in the middle, right? So it was, I would say it was on, that would be, this is the H file, so the rook must be on the F file, I think. F1 is my answer. Yes, F1 is correct. Okay, so we have a bishop, white bishop on, well, it's on the second rank, and file is, so 1 from the corner, that's the B file, B2. And we have a pawn on A3, a white pawn. And we have another pawn on the third rank. Which file? So there's one. So it's one. Wait. It's. So the black pawns are like this. So there's 2, 1, 2. So it must be 2 apart, right? So it must be the D file. So we have a white pawn on D3. We have another white pawn diagonally on C4 and one on C5. And then we have a black pawn on B6. B what? Yeah, B6. And we have a black pawn on A7. We have a white bishop on A8. We have a white king No, we have a black bishop. No, we have a white bishop on A, no, on A8, and we have a black king on A, no, on G8. Then we have 3 pawns in front, so that would be H7, G7, and F7. F7, yes. Yeah, so black has 5 pawns, white has 4 pawns. Okay, then where's the white king? No, yeah, the white king is on... The white king is, I think, which rank is it? It's on the 2nd rank. Yeah, I think it's on 2nd rank, so it's on H2. Then we have the black queen on it's on the 3rd rank, and it's a knight's jump away, or isn't it? No, it's not on the 3rd rank. Wait. We can give a check on H3. And was it a diagonal? Was it reached from a diagonal move or from a horizontal move? I think it was from a diagonal move. Well, if we can give a check on H3, then there's a black knight on G5. No, we can give a check on H3. Yes, a check on H3. So there is a black knight on there's a black knight on the G file on G5, yeah, a black knight on G5. Because there's also a black rook on the 5th rank, because the knight blocks the rook's horizontal movement. And yeah, the black queen is on the, I think it's on the 3rd. No, that seems wrong. No. Where's the white queen? Is it on the 2nd or on the 3rd rank? The white queen was on the... Yes, the white queen was on the same rank as the white king, so it's on the 2nd rank, because we almost threatened to win the queen with our rook, with a fork on the king on the white king and the white queen. But the queen is 3 squares across from the white king. So it's on the right side of the board, but on the first one, which is well, it's mirrored, so it's D. So it's on D3. The white queen is on D3. Okay, let's try to reconstruct. Let's try to reconstruct it now. Wait. Let's clear it. So this should be easier because I have the board in front of me. Okay, so we have pawn here, pawn h. Okay, I need to start speaking in notation and not just say here. Black pawn h7, fgh, yeah. Black pawn h7, g7 and f7. Then we have the king in the middle, which means 8 rank on the G file. Then there was, okay, let's start with the pawns first, because pawns are the soul of chess. So we had 5 black pawns and 4 white pawns. There was a black pawn on a7 and one on b6. Then there was the white pawns were stacked and one to the left, and there was also one in the corner, if I remember correctly, almost in the corner. So we have one on C. What is this? Well, it's the 4th from bottom, so it's the 5th rank. We have one on C5 and one on C4, and then one diagonally on to the left, which would be D3. What, really? Yeah, seems reasonable. And then we have another white pawn on the 3rd rank as well, but on A, so here. Yes, because there was a white bishop there. Okay, now we have the pawns. Now there was a bishop there. There was a white king there. H2. So black queen was on F3. White queen was on D2. There was a black rook, I think here. A white rook. No, the white rook was here. Wait. We had a knight. We had a knight which allowed us to give a check on H3, but it was blocking horizontally. The queen was there, and yeah, this makes sense. Is this the final position? Should we check it? I think this is the final position. Let's compare it. Oh, of course we forgot something. There was a knight on D4. Yeah, because there was a knight on D4. Why was there a knight on d4? Because we said that he can also take with the knight. We have to give a check we have to give a check to make room for our rook. And if we give a check on, so what is it? It's the, so we have H, G, F. So we have H, G, F, so it's yeah, it's F. F. So we have a knight on. We have a knight on G. No, we have a knight on. Well, our knight allows us to give a check on H3, yes. So where's the knight? If the check is, if it can reach H3, where's the knight? Well, obviously it's on, well, H3, so, okay, let's do another thing. Which squares are a knight's jump away from H3? Okay, it's obviously the first rank. We have F1. Yes, F1. Yeah, F1. We have obviously F3. Then we have G4. Yeah, and that's it, because there's no I4. There's no I4 because that's outside of the board. So we only have 3 squares which are a nice jump from H3. We have G5, then diagonally like that we have F4, and then 2 up we have F1. What? No, we have F2. Yes, that makes sense. We have F2, H3, then we can jump to F4 again. Yeah, F4, H3, F2. Okay, from F2 we could jump to, let's say, well, how many jumps do we have from F2? We have 5 jumps, right? Okay, let's see. F2 we have D1, we have D3, we have diagonally D3, we have D. Wait, D is not right. What am I talking? No, D is not right. D is on the right side of the board, but we are on the left side. Okay, we are on F2. So we have 5 jumps. Yeah, 5 knight jumps from F2. No, D is correct. A, B, C, D. Wait, A, B, C, D. F, wait, A, B, C, D are on the right side and D, E, F, G are on the right side, on the left side. D, wait, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E, E, F, G, H. Yeah, so we are on F2. Wait. E, F, G, H. That's why I got confused. F is the third most rank from the left if the board is mirrored. So I thought it was the second most from the left. That's why I got confused. So yeah, so I was thinking from G all the time. So let's do it from G2 then. Because from G2 we should have 5 available knight jumps, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many knight jumps are there maximum? Maximum amount of knight jumps from any position are 8, right? Yeah, of course. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so minimum amount of knight jumps are from the corner, which is 2, right? No, it's 4. It's 4. 1. No. How many is it? That's difficult actually. If we are, let's say, on A1 with the knight, then we have, how many knight jumps do we have? 2. Yeah, of course, 2. And let's say we are on A4. How many knight jumps do we have? Then we have 4. Yeah, we have 4. Is it possible to have 3 knight jumps? Yeah, that's also possible. Let's say from A2 we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, from A2 we have 3 knight jumps. From A3 we have 4 knight jumps because we get additionally yeah, from A3 we get additionally, let's say, B1. But no. That's already 4 again. On A1 we have 2 knight jumps, which are B3 and C2. Yeah, B3 and C2, yes, of course. So let's move to A2. Then we get B4, C3 and C1. And if we move yet another square up to, let's say, A3, we get B5, C4, -2, this is C2 and B1. Yeah. So we have 4. So we can have 1, we can have 2, we can have 3, we can have 4. Can we have 5 knight jumps? No, I don't think that's possible. 5 knight jumps is not possible. 6 knight jumps is the next increase. Which squares do we get 6 knight jumps from? For 6 night jumps we need to be at least on the 3rd rank or on the 6th rank, okay? Between 3rd and 6th. So we need to be in the square. Yeah, we need to be in the center of, how can I say it, of where 2 squares are at least the border is at least 2 squares thick. So, and then we also need 1 from, so we need to be at least 2 squares from the border from one direction and at least 1 square from the border from the other axis. So that means and also exactly that to get 6 night jumps, otherwise we get 8 night jumps. That means possible squares for 6 night jumps are not so many actually that fit those criteria. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty simple actually. So we get we get, let's start with 2, let's start on the 3rd rank. So we get so we get B3 and the mirrored is B3, the mirrored is G3 and then that diagonals. So we get only 4 positions on the entire board with 6 night jumps. No, that's wrong. No, these are the entry squares. We get, okay, the number of squares where we have 6 night jumps is, let's count it real quick. It's pretty simple because we can multiply by 4. So wait. We get these 2. I mean, my first guess would be 6 times 4, 24. This would be my first guess. Let's verify if it's correct. Yeah, I think it's correct because reasons. Okay, so 2 night jumps, we have 4 squares in the corners. 3 night jumps, we have 2 times 4, we have 8 squares. 4 knight jumps, we have only 4 again, 4 squares, which are also in the corner -1. So actually we covered the 4 squares, 2 by 2 squares in the corners, and then there this wait, is that yeah, we have 24 with 6 jumps. No, this is where it starts. We have not 8 with 4 jumps. No, we have 8 with 3 jumps. Yeah, we have 8 with 3 jumps and 4 jumps. Aha, like this. Yeah. So how many do we have with 8 jumps? That's also interesting. 8 jumps is easy. That's just any square with two distance from the edge from both directions, right? So that would be yeah, that's just 4 times 4. What? Only 16 squares? No, that can't be true. 4, 2, 4. Oh, I guess it's really only 16 squares that the knight has 8 jumps. Because how many squares is the border with 2 thickness? Well, it's 8 times 4. It's already 32 plus 4, 8, 16. 32 plus 16, that's already 84. What? 84 plus 16 is yeah, 64. So it's actually true. Only 16 squares where the knight has 8 jumps. Yeah. Okay, let's check if that's correct. Let's open another classroom here. Okay, so the knight. We said we have 4 squares where it has 2 jumps, which are on the corners. 1, 2, yeah. So let's eliminate those. Then we have, we had 8 squares where we have 3 jumps, which are left and right. So here, 1, 2, 3. And here, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, and then this is 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this here is 8 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is only 16 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then how many were there with... So there's no point on the board with 5 jumps. Wait, no. No with 5 and also not with 7. So we have we have 2 jumps, we have 3 jumps, we have 4 jumps, we have 6 jumps, and we have 8 jumps. So here we get 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 4 jumps. So what do we get here? It's already 6 and not 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 jumps, so we have 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 4 jumps, 6 jumps, and 8 jumps. So we got it. So we have 8 jumps, 6 jumps is, I think, that one. Four jumps is those ones. Wait, 4 jumps, yeah, those. Uh, 3 jumps, those. And 1 jump, those. 2 jumps. So we see the pattern actually, we see it. It's circles. It's circles. Just that the corner is also a circle, but yeah, the board just doesn't extend beyond that. That's why it's only 4 squares. So we get so the outer circle is 2 jumps, then the next circle is 4 jumps. Then this is we get 2 jumps, then we get 3 jumps, then we get 4 jumps, then we get 6 jumps, and then we get 8 jumps for the knight. This is really funny. Okay. Why was I doing that? I have no idea. But it was because of this puzzle here. Oh, the classroom, it updated. So the thing was that I forgot about this knight, and okay, let's what should we do now? Yes, I wasn't remembering the positions of the knight, that's why I had to do this. So there's a black knight and the white knight. So how can I remember the white knight? So it's inside this pawn formation, but the relevant square for the white knight. So the black knight can jump to h3 because there I can give a check. And the white knight, but the black knight can also give a check on, give a check somewhere, and the white knight can take my knight there. That's why it was relevant. So if the white king is on h2, the checking square is f3, and both my knight and the white knight can reach f3. So the white knight must be on, I think it's on, well, it's on the 4th rank and it's 2 squares across, so it's on we have, oh, it's so, okay, come on, where is it? G3 is the checking square. What is G? G, H, F, G, no, F is the checking square. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Yes, and F3 is the checking square. So we have E, so we have D. So the knight must be on D4. The white knight must be on D4. And my black knight must be on, so D4, my black knight is somewhere there, so it can reach G3, and what did we say? E, F, F3. Wow, why is it so complicated? The white knight, but the white knight is on, so A, B, C, D. So the white knight is on D4. It feels like my brain is already some kind of mush. Okay, I need to reconstruct the positions of the knights and visualize them clearly. So there is a white king on the left edge, which is H2. So we can give a check on H3. So my knight must be somewhere, a knight jump away from H3. And it is also blocking the movement of my rook horizontally. So it's on the G rank, G file on the 5th rank, G5. So my knight is on G5, but we can also give a check on like that, so jumping up and right. So we can give a check on F3. We can give a check on F3, and then there is a white knight covering that square, but not from the 5th rank, but from the 4th rank, which means it's 2 across, which means it's D4. Okay, so there's a white knight on D4 like that, and we have the black knight on D4 like that, and we have it on F5 like that, and there is another on G3, no, H3, F3, and f3, and then we would have d3, but the knight is on d4. Yeah, d4. The other square would be also on 5, e5. Yeah. So let me try and set it up. Okay, let's reconstruct it. So we have the black knight. Well, it can give a check on h3. We have the black knight on g5. And the white knight, I said, is on, what did I say, d4. Because they both go to the same square and I can give a check there. So we had the white knight here, the white king. We had the black king here. There were some pawns. There were some pawns. There were some pawns. Some pawns. There was a bishop, a bishop. We have the queen. We have the queen, the white queen, the black rook, the white rook, the black rook was here because the knight was blocking the movement horizontally. Okay, I think that's right now. Let's verify it. Yes, now we got it. So we can move on to the next step, which is solving the puzzle in our mind's eye, which we are going to do now. So let's clear that. Okay. So it's black to move. And let's see what we can do. We could take a pawn on... Okay, so we have a pawn facing off each other on... what is it? So here we have A, so this is B. So we have B, B6, a black pawn, and C, no, this is not, oh yeah, B6, a black pawn, and C5, a white pawn. So we could play pawn takes, C5. Yeah, we could play pawn takes C5, we could play pawn B5, we could play pawn A, we could play pawn A6 and A5, we could play, well, of course we can play all the moves with bottom left. We can play king H, no, king, yes, king H8 and king G8, no, F8, this is F, this is G, this is H, this is E, F, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we could play king H8, we can play king, so the king is on, this is, I still have a hard time even knowing which column is which column. So this is the H column and the A column. We have the G column, the F column, and the E column. So E, F, G, H. So we can play king H8, we can play king F8, because the king is on G8 and our pawns are in front, which means they are on H7, G7 and F7, H7, G7, F7, so we can play, for example, pawn H6, pawn H6, we can play pawn F6, also we can play pawn G6, we can play pawn G5, two moves up, we can play pawn H5, we can play pawn F5, so these are the pawn moves. We can play pawn takes, so we have the A, B, C, D column, so we can play pawn takes C5, A, B, C, D. Our pawn is on B, our pawn is on B, so the third one from below, what is this? We have 8, 7, 6, so this is on B6. We can play pawn takes C5, from B6 we can take C5, from B6 we can take C5, because we also have a pawn on A, we also have a pawn on A7, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. This is funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay. H, G, F, E, A, B, C, D, E, D, E, D, F, C, G, B, H, A, 3, 5, no, 3, 6, 3, 6 are the mirrored ones, 3, 6, 2, 7, 1, 8, 4, 5, 5, 4, 6, 3, 7, 2, 8, 1, D, E, C, F, G, H, A, B, C, H, G, F, E, H, G, F, E, D, B, C, A. Okay, so for example, we could play pawn A. Okay, our pawn is on A7, so we can play pawn A6 and pawn A5. We have also a pawn on B. We have a pawn on B6 because it's diagonal to the pawn on A7. So this is on B6, so we could play pawn, we could play so this is B, so we can play B takes C. Yeah, B takes C diagonally. B takes C diagonally. We can also push our pawn. We can play B5. Yeah, we can play B5. B5 the fifth rank is in the middle, yeah, fourth and fifth, so we can play b5. So there is currently on b6, so we have 7 and 8. Yeah, it's diagonally. So the white pawns are stacked on the C rank file, C column. So we have C column. There are 2 white pawns on, but where are they? They are on the 5th and 4th rank. Okay, what other moves can we do? So we have bishop on, we have a bishop bottom right. We have a bishop on a8. So we can play a8, we can play bishop b7, we can play bishop c6, we can play bishop d5, we can play bishop e4, we can play bishop well, it's in the corner, so it goes all the way up. Are there any pieces on that diagonal? No, there are no pieces on that diagonal. So let's say, so what moves can we play? Bishop A, bishop h1, bishop h1. Let's enumerate the long diagonal h1, or even that is hard. h1, 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 g2, f3, e4, h1, g2, f3, e4, d5, c6, b7, a8. What are the 2 squares in the middle? It's d5 and e4. Yeah, d5, e4. d5, e4. Because I have the board flipped. What if I would flip it to the upright position? Okay, I flip it to the upright position so that a1 is bottom left corner. That would mean the black bishop is on. So if we flip it, so in the puzzle the black bishop is bottom right corner, but if we flip it 180 degrees, it's on the top left corner, which would be a8. So then let's enumerate it like that. a8, b7, c6, d5, e4, f3, g2, h1. That's a bit simpler because it's simpler for me to say a, b, c, d instead of D, DCBA. So there I have to do an additional reversing, but not if I think in, yeah, that's just because I'm keeping the sequence of letters, but I don't need to keep them in a sequence. I'm just should think from absolute positions. For example, yeah, I know that F is the third from the right and C is the third from the left, and H and A are the outermost, and G is the third, second from the right, second from the edge. So F is one from the center, C is also one from the center, D is in the center, and E is also in the center. And 4 and 5 are in the center, so that means the 4 central squares are D4, E4, and D5, E5. It's the 4 central squares. And the 4 corner squares are H1, A1, A8, A1. No, let's say it like that. A1, H1, A8, and H8. Yeah, so my bishop, let's return to the puzzle, is on, the black bishop is on, it's on A8, bottom right, A8, and it can reach B7, C6, D5, E4, F3, G2, H1, 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 G2, F3, D, notice that's E, E4, D5, C6, B7, and A8. Yeah. Okay, that's the bishop. What else is there? Okay, we have covered the pawns, we have covered the bishop, we have covered the king. Let's do now the black knight. Why not the knight? So the knight is currently located on, yeah, it's like that. So it's located on, we can reach H3 and also the checking square, which is so H3, king, so it's like that. It must, the king is on H2, so it's the third rank, and yeah, F, because F is 2 across from H, because we have FGH and EFGH. So the black knight is on, so it's like that, it's on, this is what's hard, the knight jumps, to visualize them is quite hard. H3, Well, it obviously must be on g5. g5, is that correct? g5, we can go to f3. Yeah, we can go to f3. And f3 is reaching h2. g5, f3. Yeah, because it's like that. It's like that, yeah. I need this one so you can see the paint. So it's like that. Where's my arrow? Whoa. No, let's do simple lines. Okay, so the geometry is like that. We go from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. That's the geometry. And from here to here. So the interesting thing is that if we jump, so the interesting thing is this difference here between the second rank and the third rank on the H rank, and that it aligns like this. So this is the interesting thing. So our knight on g5, this is symmetrical, this V shape. So we have h3 and we have f3. But the interesting thing is that from f3 we can reach h2. This is the geometry. From f3 we can reach. So this is not symmetrical now, because those two lines are symmetrical, but this goes up there. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. But we still need to solve this puzzle in my mind. But I'll take a short break. Be right back. Wait, let me set up a breaks thingy. Break, okay, good. Okay, what we are going to do now is we are going to solve this puzzle now in our mind's eye by giving move notation, and we will set up the final position on the board, on the empty board, to confirm it's correct. And maybe we'll play some games then later. Okay. So I need to remember the rook's position. Okay. Now let's go to the empty board and let's solve this puzzle. So where are the rooks located? Okay, the black knight is on G. The black knight is on G5. Yeah, the black knight is on G5. The white knight is on. Okay, my brain is total mush. I feel like I need a break from this. But I think we learned already quite some things. I just need to take a break from visualizing and play some games now, I feel like. But this is really helpful to get better, I think, the visualization. But we will continue later, because my brain needs some time to relax and process what it has learned. Where's my setup? This one, yeah. We're just gonna play some blitz games now for relaxation. Yeah, I'm just doing any moves. I don't really like... No, I hate this position. They are clamping down on this square a million times. And now I can never push c4. But wait, the knight here and the queen here. What if we try this? Then they just push. Okay, let's try this. Now he will push. Yeah. No, now I need to take. What an idiot. It seems he studied this exact opening. He was prepared for everything. Bro. He knew it. And now he's attacking my pawn. What? What the hell? And he's playing so fast as well. This is... No. Now I'm just losing a pawn. Come on. This is so absurd. But I thought he cannot do that. No, he cannot do that. I'm winning back my pawn now. This is an annoying bastard. This is really annoying. He's really annoying. Now he will take there. 100%. 1000%. No, and I cannot take back because my knight will be hanging. This is an annoying bastard, eh? What an annoying bastard. Okay, but his knight is also hanging. What an annoying bastard, eh? Now he takes another pawn. What an annoying. Okay. What is he doing? Why is he playing so annoyingly? Now he will take 1000%. What an annoying. This knight is so annoying. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is this move? It makes no sense. What an annoying player. How is he so annoying? Stop it. Now he can push here and I'm losing my... No, but he's losing this one. Why is he so annoying? And I don't even have time. He's threatening this. Bro, why are you so annoying? Look at that. Look at what he's doing. This is insane. No, I cannot play like that. This is too annoying. Yeah, I cannot do it. I mean, look at this annoying bastard, eh? No, I'm not doing a rematch, certainly not. What is this guy? Okay, this is absurd. They're just playing quickly and they are extremely annoying, and it seems they studied the openings and I haven't studied the openings. So I'm already playing at a major disadvantage because they don't have to think, but I have to think. This is unfair. But this is not good what he's doing. It can't be good. Yeah, he's not thinking. He's not thinking. They are not thinking. He's just playing quickly, but look how quickly he plays. It's so annoying. Look, he just trades everything and wins a pawn. What the hell? This is absurd. Okay, now I'm threatening another pawn and another pawn. I told you it's not good what he's doing. It's absolute garbage what he was doing. But they are just playing quickly without thinking 1 second. It's crazy. What is the guy doing? What is he doing? I don't get it. What is he doing? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Now come on, rook d1. Play rook d1, come on. Wow, he didn't play rook d1. That was really unexpected, actually. What is he doing, bro? Why is he so annoying? He is even threatening that. This is so stupid. He's still creating counterplay, even though he's down everything. But what is he doing when I play this one? He's still giving me the check 1000%. And then he's playing here. Then I'm sacrificing. No, I'm not sacrificing. He's still generating counterplay. That's absurd. No, but I have this one and taking the rook, everything. I have everything now. I have everything. But he still generated counterplay, which was crazy. Because they just play quick moves. And that, look, he still wants to generate counterplay. Look at that! He mated me! It's crazy, what is that? Sup, man? Hi. It's crazy, those players. They are insane. Look at that. He managed to mate me even though he was losing extremely hard. It's really annoying, those players. What is this opening? I already out of book. I have no idea what I'm supposed to play now. Why do these pieces sound different? It sounds nice. Yeah, I've changed it. I really like this as well. Yeah, it sounds like seashells or something. It's very nice. I have no idea, dude. I'm already out of book. I have no idea what to play now. But this must be a bad move. Okay, he's going there. What? Okay. I don't even see such stuff. What the fuck, dude? I thought it was his queen. Come on. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I'm just blundering everything. Maybe it's a sign of learning, because you have to blunder before you can learn. Yeah, I have no idea. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to move pieces now, because I have no idea what this is or what I'm supposed to do. I have no idea. And I'm already worse, it seems. I already am worse. Now he can play g4, for example. Okay, but he doesn't. Cow is boring, Lord. Yeah, I'm playing those boring openings because that's what I learned from an opening course on chessable.com. And it was keep it simple, and that's what you need to play boring chess in order to keep it simple. Otherwise it gets complicated. But even then I'm already losing. Yeah, what is this guy doing? I mean, he's just making random moves. What the hell, dude? Then again, I play stupid openings like Modern Scandi. I don't know exactly what it is, but the Scandi, I really like the Scandi because it creates very dynamic games. Okay, he's attacking my pawn. Yeah, I don't think I should defend it. I go for the counterattack. Man, this guy is annoying. Now he pushes e3, yeah, of course. Now he gets perpetual. What an annoying ass dude. What an annoying ass dude, bro. What an annoying ass dude. Modern Scandi is knight f6. Okay. I don't see why it should be different actually than playing pawn first. I guess it's a move order. Wait, did he just blunder? Yeah, he completely blundered. But maybe he can still get a perpetual. What is he trying to do here? Ah, he's trying to mate me. What an annoying ass dude. What an annoying ass dude. Okay, now we maybe get an interesting endgame. I should be winning this because of my outside passer. I should absolutely be winning this. Yeah, it's unstoppable. I think I won this game if I play not like a complete moron now, which might happen. Okay, how can we approach this? I don't have much time to think. I'm going to play this one. Why? Because I need to give a check. I need to be able to give a check. So I can approach my pawn further. He has a check, yes. Let's give another check. Another one. Let's give another check. Yeah, I'm too slow. I cannot win like this. He can even flag me now. Because it's too difficult. I cannot do it. How am I supposed to do it? I need to think. I need to talk. I need to stream. It's impossible. Sorry, but I cannot do it. I mean, I'm bad at chess anyway. Mainline Scandi was too position for me, so I tried the modern variation and it's a bit more tactical from what I can see. Yeah, for me it's always the same, the Scandi. It's always white castles short, black castles long, and then it's a very sharp game. But maybe there are different nuances which I'm not aware of. He's attacking my pawn. We almost have a fork. What is he doing? Come on, protect your pawn first before you do anything else. No, he doesn't like to protect his pawn. Okay, then let's trade it. What's this? What's this doing for you? I don't know. I don't see what this is doing for him. What is this move doing? It's also a complete bullshit move. Okay. So what can we do now? I think I'm going to do this. No, I'm not. Oh yes, I'm doing this actually. Because of this move. Okay, this again looks completely winning. So if I'm also losing that one, then I don't know what I can do. Okay, let's trade it. Give me the bishop. What is this move doing? Wants to go there, I think. Let's protect the pawn. Let's trade. And let's push. Let's stop this. What an annoying player again. Now, what is going on? Okay, but now he blundered. Why is he trading the rooks? Is he stupid or what? What an annoying player. Wow, he's really annoying. Wow. Maybe he even gets a draw. Wow. It's insane how bad I am actually. That's why I need to do studying to get better. Oh, I got a fellow Austrian. Free bishop? I didn't see a free bishop. So, okay, we get the Scandi now. So for me, it's always the same. I do this. Okay, if he takes, it's something else. I hate it when they play that move. Let's try something else now. Let's castle along. They are not thinking. Look, they are not thinking. And already I'm worse. Nah, it's insane actually. Should I take it? Nah. Yeah, I think I should. They are not thinking. Look how fast they play. Why is he not taking my pawn? Is he stupid or something? Okay, thanks bro for the pawn. Ah, he's going for checkmate. What an annoying ass dude. What an annoying ass dude. What is this guy doing? He's just playing quickly. But he's going to lose this game if he plays like that. Look at this motherfucker. Now he's going for checkmate here. What an annoying ass dude. What an annoying dude. Okay, but now he's just playing quickly. He's just, yeah, it's really annoying. Look at what he's doing. He's just playing the obvious moves. Now he's giving me a check, okay. What an annoying ass dude. Just trading everything. What the fuck is this guy doing? He's just playing quickly. Oh my god. Oh my god, he has a check, but he doesn't even do it. What an annoying player. Now he gives another check and he wins a pawn even. It's insane. Oh my god. And I blundered again. But I have a passed pawn here. What is this guy doing? What an annoying guest, dude. Look at this annoying ass dude. What was he doing? Okay. Last game, then we do another puzzle. Because we need to get better. That mate was cool. Yeah, thanks. It's a miracle I even saw that. Oh my god, I already blundered in the opening. Now I couldn't play g6 because of my bishop. But I was supposed to play g6 in the pawn of attack. Oh my god, I cannot even push e5! Yeah, what is this position? I have no idea what I can do. They always get an advantage in the opening anyway. What is this move? This is just blunder. Sure, he gets back his pawn, but whatever. Yeah, no idea what I'm supposed to do. I mean, I have a passer here, so actually I'm winning this position if I play it right. Actually, I have a slight advantage, I think. But he's an annoying ass dude as well, like almost everyone. What the fuck is this guy doing? What an annoying ass dude. Just doubling his rooks like a moron. Oh my god, what an annoying motherfucker. What an annoying motherfucker. Motherfuckery. Now I'm doubling my rooks. Fucking asshole. What a... Oh, he's annoying. He takes another pawn. What a stupid ass motherfucker. Annoying ass dude. Come on, give me that rook. What an... What a stupid... Sorry, I shouldn't talk with my opponents like that. But yeah, it's really annoying. What is he doing, bro? He took a pawn, okay, and now what? Now he has perpetual or what? No. Let me get my rook activated here. Wow, I finally managed to win a game. The only reason I started learning Ruy Lopez is because Magnus Carlsen plays it, and only after I started did I realize it is the most theory-packed opening one could possibly choose. Yeah, I also played Ruy Lopez because it has a lot of theory. No, not because it has a lot of theory, but because I get interesting attacking games. So what should we do? What should we do? Should we play blitz? Should we do puzzles? What should we do? Let's change my microphone. I think we should do more puzzles now in order to get better. Okay, let's do puzzles. Yeah, I learned something. Okay. Let's solve this puzzle in our heads now. Okay, let's start with F, G, H, E. Okay. Let's start. The knight is on G, G5. Okay. Let's start with knight F3 check. Okay, white. What moves does he have after knight F3 check? So well, he can take with his knight, and he can take with the rook. But can he also move the king? So his king is on h2. His king is on h2. Can he move to h1? No, he cannot, because we have a bishop on a8. We have a bishop on a8, so he cannot move to h1. Can he move to h2? I mean, no, he's currently on h2. Can he move to g1, I mean? Where's my queen? We have the knight on g5. We have the queen. Somehow I forgot where my queen is. We have the rook on... Well, the rook is on the third rank. No, the rook is not on the third rank. It's also on the fifth rank where my knight is. So we have a rook on... How many squares is it across from our knight? Well, the rook is... I know that the white rook is on the first rank, and it's on... It's on f1. The rook is on f1, the white rook. Our rook, I don't think it's on the f file. Our rook is one to the right, I think, so it must be on d5. No, e5, e5, okay. Here's the rook. Oh my god, I thought we had the black bishop, but actually it's two white bishops we have, not a black bishop on h8. What's up? Hi Shadow. We are currently solving puzzles because we need to get better. We cannot stay forever on 1700 blitz. So where's the queen? Okay, the queen is on g4, our queen. So actually that restricts the white king quite some. Because the white king is on h2. So it only can move to h1, since our queen is on g4. Since our queen is on g4, it only has two squares, which are, the king has only two squares, which are not in check, which is h1 and h2. But the king can move to h1 because the bishop on a8 is a white one and not a black one. So after our knight jump to f3, check, they could have the following moves. Knight h1, knight takes f3, and what else can take the knight? On f3. I think the rook as well. Yeah, they can play rook takes f3. And what about the white queen? Can it also capture f3? The white queen is on G, F, E. I think the white queen is on the D rank file and on the second rank, D2. Yeah, it's on D2. So D2, it cannot reach F3 because that's a knight jump from D2. Yes. So after our knight check F3, white has only 3 moves. Moving king to H1 or knight to takes F3 or rook takes F3. So let's say they play, so we have to solve the puzzle, we have to solve every variation. So let's start with knight to H1, king to H1 I mean. Then we play rook, H, which rank is our rook on? The same as the knight, so it's the 5th rank. So then we play rook, H5, check. Then they can how can they block the check? They can block it with the queen. The queen is on D2, so they can play queen, H2, and then they play queen, H2. And what should we do then? We could play rook takes H2, but this wouldn't be checkmate. So I think there must be a checkmate. Okay, let me see it. So we play let's open a classroom. Okay, so let's set up the position. So the queen was on E. Oh, we need to flip the board. So let's start with the kings. This was a white bishop on A8, not a black one. That's why the king can go to H1. yeah, that the queen was here because it restricts the king to only those two squares. Then we had a knight on g5 with this pattern, and a white knight covering covering f3 from d2, so here. Then we have the white rook on f1, so here. We have the black rook. We have the black rook on the 5th rank and on the on the E file. And we have also the white queen. Wait, the white queen is on c2? No. Oh, the white knight is not here. The white knight is on d4. Yeah, like that. Okay, so what was my thinking? Yeah, I wanted to see if we play knight f3, check. He goes king h1. And then we play rook h5, what he can. And then I was calculating queen h2. Okay, but then I didn't visualize that I have a knight there and I can play this. So this is quite complicated actually to visualize this, for me at least. Okay, let's try to visualize it again. So we play knight f3 check, and he plays king h1. Then we have suddenly a knight on f3, which wasn't there before. So which means the knight on f3 covers the squares h2 and also g1. And so if he plays queen h2 to block the check with rook h5, then we can play rook takes h2, taking the queen, but it's checkmate because our king on f3 protects the rook on h2, and we have also a queen on a queen on g4, 4, which cuts off the white king. So if the queen was not actually on g4, it would still be checkmate because it cannot escape to g1 because of the knight on f3, and it can also not escape diagonally to g2 because of our rook on h2. So even if the wasn't there, he goes there, then this would be checkmate. Okay, I think we solved this puzzle now. No, we don't solve. We solved only the first variation when he plays king h1. Now we also need to do the other two moves. So let's do the other two moves. Okay, we play knight f3 check. He can take with the knight and he can also take with the rook. Let's say he plays, his rook is currently on f1, so let's say he moves 2 up and takes our knight on f3. Takes our knight on f3. We have our queen there, our rook is now free to move over, so we play rook from h. Our rook is currently positioned on I don't remember if it was positioned on e5 or on d5. No, I know where it was positioned. It's on e5 because the white queen is on d2 and we also could play in the initial position rook to e2, and we almost would have a fork on the queen and on the king if it were not for the enemy knight protecting the square e2, because the enemy knight is actually on d4, and from d4 it can reach e2 and f3. Yes, that makes sense. These are the diagonal squares e2 and f3. But that was something else. So our rook is on e5 and his queen is on d2 and his knight is on e4. So after we play knight f3 check, he captures with his rook on f1 to f3, and then we play our rook from e5 to h5, giving a check, and then he's going to block with his rook. Yeah, that's the only move he has, because he cannot block with the queen, because the queen is on the second rank, but his king is also on the second rank, so his queen would need to be on the third rank in order to block. But his rook is on the third rank now, so he can play rook h3, but then wait, okay. And our queen is on g4. Yes, and that's why it works, because our queen is on g4, and from g4 it is adjacent to the square h3. So we can play rook takes h3, checkmate, because our queen protects the rook. Yeah, so let's do the sequence we just said. That's not the sequence. The sequence is knight f3, rook takes f3, rook h5, rook blocks h3, rook takes h3, and it's protected by our queen, so that's a checkmate. Wait, how does this actually work? Aha, yeah. But wait a second, he also has another move which I didn't see before. He also has bishop captures, but then it's still mate in one. So the best defenses for him are rook takes and knight takes. Then he got one more move than in the other variations. So knight f3, bishop takes f3, rook h5, checkmate. Okay, now with the knight, knight f3, check, knight takes from d4, takes f3. Then we play again rook check, f5 check, and he can jump knight to a4 now. a4, this is the interesting difference. So we get a different checkmate result because we will play rook takes h4 checkmate instead of rook takes h3 checkmate. So this is a minor difference. So here knight f3 check, knight takes f3, rook h5 check, knight f4 now, and rook takes f4 checkmate. Yes, a minor difference. Rook is on h4 and not on h3. Okay, now we solve the puzzle in every variation. That means we can move on to the next puzzle. Let's move on to the next puzzle. Interesting. So the first step is to solve it normally. The first step is to describe what's going on, everything. So what's going on? We have this one, 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 we have those passers, we have those passers. Okay, so this is what's going on. Material wise, they are up a rook. But their knight is trash, while our bishop is king. And our king is safe and sound, while their king is absolutely busted. That's the difference. So they are up a rook, but their king is busted and my king is safe. Their knight is trash and our bishop is king. Yeah, that's the difference. So first thing I notice is if the pawn wasn't there, it would be mate in 1. Which is not... Oh yes, it is true. So... But I also notice this is a common pattern. I can give a check here. And this is not a mate. This is quite an interesting puzzle because there's also pawn takes d4. Not really. I mean, I think this pattern has a name. What is the name of this pattern? Well, this is really difficult to calculate everything, I feel like. We are going to calculate everything now. First with looking at the board. We're going to do every move. Let's start with rook h1 check. Rook h1 check, and then what? Rook h1 check, king takes h1. Okay, this doesn't lead to anything. It's just we lost the rook and then we have nothing. Because h4 is covered and also h3 is covered. So rook h1 check we can eliminate. The most obvious one, I would say, is bishop takes d4 check. And now we really have to calculate. Bishop takes d4 check. They have two options. They have three moves. Queen takes d4. Rook f3, rook 3 f2 and rook 1 f2. And okay, what we can immediately say is, if they block with the rook, is checkmate with queen h2. So they have to play queen takes d4. And then we are going to play rook h2 check. And they have to play king f2 only move. And we can take the queen with e takes d4. Then it's not checkmate, but we want a queen. And I don't think there is a checkmate. But maybe there is. No, I don't think there is, because they can always capture my bishop with the queen. So there cannot be a checkmate. So this is actually the best line. Let's visualize it now. Where's my bishop? On which diagonal is my bishop? It's pointing towards the enemy king, and the enemy king is on... It's on the first rank, and it's on the... It's on the G file. G1. So my bishop is on that, points towards that. So this means my bishop is not on the longest diagonal, but on the second longest diagonal. Is it a light square or a dark square bishop? Well, G2 is what? Is it a light or dark square? I mean G1. G1 is... so A1. What is A1? Is it a light square or a dark square? Well, we can reconstruct that. Initially, the white queen is on D1, so this is a light square, which means B2 is also a light square, but A1 is a dark square. Which means G1 is G1 is a dark square as well. No, what am I talking? G? Okay, initially the white queen is on D1, so this is a light square. So the light squares on the first rank are D1, B1, D1, B1, F1, and h1. So bottom left is a dark square, bottom right is a white square, light square. So G2, where currently the white king is located, is a G1, where currently the white king is located, is a light square. No, wait. Initially, the white queen is on D1, which means the light squares on the first rank are D1, B1, F1 and H1. So G1 is a dark square, H1 is a light square. So currently the white king is located on G1, which means G1 is a dark square, because A1 is also a dark square. So I have my dark square bishop. Black has a dark squared bishop, which currently points to G1. So G1, this is the second longest diagonal on the board. The longest one would be from H1 to A1. From H1 to A1. This would be a dark square A1 and H1 must both be dark squares, or let me verify that. A1 and H8 are both dark squares, yes. So this is the longest diagonal. So there are two longest diagonals, but four second longest diagonals. This is interesting. We have two longest diagonals, but we have four of every other distant diagonal. Or do we? No. We have two longest diagonals, four second longest diagonals, and four 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these are 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have two 8 square diagonals, but we have 4 7 to 1 square diagonals each. Okay. So we have a dark square bishop on C5. Let's do the verification. If you can reach G1 from C5, C5, D4, E3, F2, G1, yeah, so G1, F2, E3, E3. I think I'm going to do this this notation trainer here, which there is on chess.com. Where was it? Did they remove it? No, there it is. Coordinates, white, okay, start. E8, where we have A, B, C, we have A, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H. What? B1. A6. Okay, let's go again. Let's start with, okay. G6. G6. A5. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E, F, G, H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. G1. D7. C2. D1. F3. F8. F3. C5. F8, A4, F6, B6, F3, B1, A2, A2, C8, G1, G1, A7, D1, B3, H3, 1, 6, 3, 5, 8, 1, 5, 3, 8, 4, 2, D1, G5, B6, G5, E3, C5, D8, E6, E8, A6, D8, G7, G4, B2, F3, A1, 7, 8, 6, 2, 3, 4, D3, C1, E6, B2, B2, B5, C5, D2, C3, E7, G8, B6, B2, C8, F4, C4, A8, E2, G6, B8, B7, C4, A1, C4, F7, G2, E7, C2, G5, H5, C3, B5, C2, G2, E8, C7, B2, E5, B3, C8, G3, B3, H6, H1, B8, F4, D7, B1, F6, B1, B2, F4, F3, G1, D3, C3, C2, A6, E2, D5, C1, D4, E3, G2, B7, B1, F6, C2, A2, F2, D5, D5, E5, C2, G4, E7, E5, B7, D6, F3, H1, D2, E5, G4, E1, G6, B1, A5, F1, C3, E4, E8, H1, B6, D5, E4, G4, G3, H3, G7, E5, E3, G3, D7, A1, C7, E6, A2, H3, C6, G3, B7. My brain, it's turning into mush. A5, D1, A6, H2, D8, D5, H8, C2, F2, C3, A6, A4, C6, B8, H8, 6, C8, B. G1, F4, H1, F6, B2, C1, 8, C7, E5, B7, F2, H4, H4, E8, C3, G6, E2, G7. Okay, now D6, D1, F4, B8, B8, C7, E8, D4, B1, B2, H3, C2, E6, E7, H1, D1, C6, D8, D8, G7, C4, H4, H7, D3, G5, B7, D4, H4, E3, E6, F5, G7, G5, G1, D4, A6, F8, H8, H7, B5, C2, C4, C7, F2, F1, A1, C2, D3, G6, G3, A3, B2. No, we actually got a bit better. We have 13. Our previous record is 12. So let's see if we can get to 14. Personal best 13. A7, H8, E6, F1, C6, G8, G1, E6, F3, G1, B2, G7, C3, F1, A8, A4, G2, C4, F4, A6, D1, A6, B4, C1, G5, G5. Where's G5? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E, F, G, H, E, F, G, H. Coordinates. H8, C8, A8, G1, G6, G7, D7, F2, G1, G3, H5, A6, C2, D8, H3, E7, D8, A6, F8, E8, G4, F7, B7, H2, G5, H2, C3, H3, E7, D5, D6, F1, B6, C6, D7. Okay. I think we already made some improvements, but I need to take a little break now. So I'm going to take a little break now and I come back later.